You've seen the hair, you've seen the chain, you've seen the gun fingers and the glasses. Ibiza final boss, taking social media by storm. But how can he use all this attention to his advantage and actually use it to make some real money? We're going to deep dive it all today here on the Brothers in Business podcast. First things first, I've got a little bit of a claim to fame.
Come on then, hit us.
Me and Jack K, Ibiza final boss, we were literally in a booth next to each other the day before he popped off with him and all of his friends in the VIP section in Ocean Beach. And I've never before been so surprised. And I've seen some people on nights out looking an absolute state. But this kid took all of us by surprise because we turned around and, put it this way, he stands out from a crowd. And I rate it. I do. I think it's good. I think the fact that he is so totally himself, he doesn't care what he looks like. Well, do you know what?
I think he does care what he looks like because that's the reason why he's got his hair like he has. It's all falling out.
Yeah, it didn't look good. But, okay, so this is where I'm in a bit of a quandary because he obviously is himself and he's happy with how he looks. I think that's the best way to put it. He's happy with how he looks. So he's confident in his appearance, which is fine. It's not an appearance I'd go with, but I rate the fact that he is there so himself and doesn't really give a shit about what other people think. And I think a lot of people could take a good look at themselves and try and emulate that feeling because everybody nowadays is so worried about what other people think. And we're going to get into that a little bit later about how so many people now just try and conform and they just spend their whole time trying to do what everyone else is doing. But my God, when I turned around and saw this lad in this VIP, all of us turned around and we were like, what is that guy looking like? But
he looks like the modern day Mr. T. That's kind of like how I'm picturing him.
He looks like Friar Tuck.
Cross between Friar Tuck and Mr. T.
But I rate it with all he's got all his snide gear on. And I just thought, this guy is an absolute standout. And the thing that, I'll be honest, right? So it was before, I can't remember the exact days, but it was whenever I went from like 28th of July till the beginning of August. I was there for 9 days in the end, which is a slog. Didn't get drunk, actually. I said to you, didn't I? That whole Ibiza journey.
And nobody believes you do that.
And whether they choose to or not,
one of them.
Matty will tell you. Shout out Matty Hughes. Showed me a lot on that holiday. But you don't need to go out and get pissed and get absolutely off your face. Now, could have shared that sentiment with the Ibiza final boss and his friends because they were absolutely just in a state in that VIP booth.
Did you get any videos or photos of them?
I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed now because I was enjoying myself and I just wanted to. I wasn't really too bothered about it, but I did 100% when I saw him. It was that standout. No. I swear to God, I was going to get my phone out and record or try and take a picture of him. And if I had done, that would have been me posting the viral video. So,
well, that's it, actually. Well, who was the person who actually posted it? Have they got any sort of notoriety from it? I mean, I doubt it.
I don't know. But remember, we did obviously the episode on Andy Byron, Coldplay the other week and that madness. But the woman that took the video, I think she was an American or a Canadian woman, and she was on the morning telly just because she was the one that posted the video.
Bloody hell. It shows you, doesn't it?
So I think next time I spot a unique person out in the wild, I will be taking my camera out and snapping a video because you never know, it might end up going a bit crazy on the socials. But
we'll have to try and get him on the podcast. I'll be the final boss. Come at us.
It's not a bad shout. Come on, Jack K. But either way, like you said, all fairness to the guy. Like, he's obviously gone out. He was having a good time with his mates. He was enjoying himself. He was having a bit of a dance, bit of a party, bit of a piss up. And who can take anything away from him? We've all been there. And if you haven't, you're boring. Simple as that. And I respect him for being out on holiday with his mates, regardless of what he's doing. Good for him, good for his friends. He weren't hurting anybody. And the next thing you know, you wake up on social media and you are everywhere. Could you actually imagine that?
I got the taste of it when like ages ago, when I did YouTube 10 odd years ago, and I went on this website, and it was all about this kind of like these big social media people at the time, kind of, were on this platform, and then about 10 odd thousand people would watch them live. And then I remember telling you at the time where it was like you'd queue, and like people would kind of get voted off and voted in, or vote for another minute to stay on the platform. And then this guy got kicked off who was the main person. There's about 4,000 people in this chat. And then it just came up on my screen going, 3, 2, 1, you're live. And it was like, I was like, oh my, I was like, hello, my name's Cody, it's my YouTube channel. And my phone was like, blew up like mad. I had like hundreds of notifications just pinging constantly. So, I mean, he's obviously got it way more insane, but like, I kind of know a little bit of what it's like. It's wild.
Cody and his little 1 minute of fame there. But do you know what? It was in that era of One Direction, Justin Bieber, and everyone was like loving that style of look, like the One Direction, the young girls. And there was this YouTuber, do you remember his name, who had gone before you?
It was, what was his name? He was with Alfie
Alfie
Days or something.
That's it.
That was it, Alfie
my
Days.
God, you think back to that now. And obviously you're a kid at the time, so it's normal, but you look back, and even I remember the videos, and it makes me cringe. But you just looked that kind of way as a kid. So they've obviously come on, and obviously all the like girls are going, oh my God, it's the newest One Direction or No Direction member. This just in. Breaking news. The subscribe button has still not been pressed. Press it now.
And the like.
All done?
Back to the studio. I'll put a link to the video in the
If you've still got it, do it. It'd be hilarious.
They're all privatised at the minute, so
Cody the vlog for anyone that wants to go try and find them. But for me, right, I think there's a bit of a deeper dive into the implications of this, because obviously we put ourselves out on social media, so that leaves us to be scrutinised by the general viewing public, and I don't care really what they say. It doesn't bother me at all, and neither do you.
I don't know.
But really obviously with Jack K, Ibiza final boss, because that's what people refer to him as, just in case his name. Exactly, yeah, that's why it's like, just have to feel like I've got to give him a bit of respect. So Jack K, he's woke up in the morning. He's got millions and millions and millions of views for a video that he's not posted. And unlike Andy Byron with his HR manager, he ain't doing anything wrong. He's just dancing about with his like little gun fingers out, just having a little bit of a groove at Ocean Beach. And the next thing you know, you've got millions of people and everyone, the comments. And the one thing I do have to say, the internet just needs...
It's a great place.
The internet are brilliant at coming up with comments. Like I heard Monastery of Sound absolutely killed me. All of the Friar Tuck comments, like when you've got was it Ocean at 2, but Battle of Hastings at 4 or something? And I'm just looking at all of these, and I'm like, it's funny, obviously, but for him, and let's say he's taking it exactly, but he's taken it in a really good light, and he's embraced it, and fair play to him, because he could have gone the other way. He could have tried to hide it, sweep it under the carpet. Look at him now. 200,000 followers on Instagram, and probably plus another 100, 200, maybe even more on TikTok, Twitter and all that, because he's been sponsored by Neon Management, which is the same company that does all of the Love Islanders and all of the reality stars. And that's what's happened, and he's embraced it. Whereas, but just to do a quick caveat, like people, that is like, imagine that just amount of online hate straight away, digging your hairstyle out. I mean, for good reason. Your chain, the gun fingers, the glasses, then saying he's wearing all those fake stuff and saying he's a loser and this, that, and the other. And it's like, he didn't ask to put that video on there. He just got baited out on social media for looking a bit of a wrong un, but that's not his, that's not, he's allowed to do what he wants, and it is a bit sad. So in that sense, but I'm really, really, really happy that completely reverse Uno carded everybody that gave him shit in the comments, and now he's flying because he got flown back to Ibiza on a private jet. He's been hanging out with all the DJs, but
Wayne Lineker as well.
Oh God, yeah, stay clear of him.
Yeah,
but
the private jet was a madness.
Yeah, for me, delving deeper into it, I think there's a deeper underlying factor where somebody does pop off and go viral, which he has done so quickly overnight. And you can see how fast with social media your life can change because of that attention. And attention is money these days. We're in an attention economy, and brands want to work with people that have that level of attention or eyeballs on them because that sells their product. So, I mean, even for example, the stuff that he was wearing in that first video, I reckon people will have bought that as I think it was on. And yeah, Halloween's coming up, but obviously I think it was on. The vest that he was wearing, a sports brand, so he's wearing a sports vest. I reckon people have copped that vest without a doubt. Free marketing, free advertising, and now every time he goes out, believe it or not, he's now got a brand deal with Boohoo.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, it's like that one putt with Tiger Woods. Do you remember? And it was the Nike tick, and it was like on the ball as the ball was like rolling, and his hat and stuff. And like, obviously they sponsored him at that point, but it was the craziness that it was one of the most viewed videos in like sporting history, isn't it? That crazy shot. And again, he's more planned for that, but that brand that he's just selected is now going to be taking off. It's going to be like another Off-White situation with Justin Bieber or something.
Well, there's just so much money for him to make now because of all this notoriety that he's gained. He'll be able to use that money, and if he's smart with it, which is fortunate because, and again, I'm really happy for him. I'm glad he's managed to find a management company like Neon. I mean, I have zero understanding of what they do, how they do it, but if they're handling all of the Love Island lot, then obviously they're going to have a decent management in place. So good for him, and he's going to earn a lot of money for it. He's been flown back out on a private jet, and so for me, it's a great middle finger back to the haters who are giving him shit online. I'm not the type to comment I can't be asked to comment on anyone's video, to be honest, let alone go out of my way to comment some nonsense and hate people for a comment. I'll just make a whole podcast episode about it.
Yeah, just get it out.
Slightly different. But no, I do. I respect what he's done, and I really like how he's going to be the one that has the last laugh with all this money that he's going to make. And I'm not sure how long it will go on for, because realistically, it's that kind of overnight craze and overnight fame because he's not actually done anything. There's no consistency to what he's doing. He is literally just famous for being so different and standout-ish.
Do you think he's going to come out now with like a line of products, like hair products, gold chains of like his own design, and he could end up like, I don't know. I mean, he might do. I mean, it depends. I suppose he's like you say, he's got the management behind him now, and he can monetize it in some way. But I think he's got to be quick, because it's even like with the Love Islanders, it's all like the hot topic for like a good year max, and then it sort of majorly tails off. So he's just got to seize the opportunity, because not many people get that sort of notoriety that fast and on that sort of scale.
100%. I think getting relevant is hard. Staying relevant is next to impossible, because, you know, how many people do you know, short of people with general talents? It depends what you're famous for. It depends what you're relevant for, because even the ones that become famous overnight for some, let's say, one-off feat, and they've done something incredible. Like, I remember Hardest Geezer ran the entire length of Africa, Russ Cook, and what an incredible feat of human achievement. And he managed to raise loads of money. He managed to gain a load of followers. But since then, I've noticed that a lot of people are now doing similar things, like they're cycling from the UK to Thailand, or that young lad was walking from Manchester to Ibiza. He ended up doing quite well. Yeah, weird, but people are doing these like crazy challenges now.
OnlyFans, sleep with 1,000 men, and everyone's
yes,
doing it.
Slightly different, but also it is on the same line, because the point that I'm getting to with that is that once the precedent is set and people see it being done, the blueprint is then available for people to then copy and go after. So I've seen people then trying to emulate the final boss, and they'll do, this is Iron Napa final boss, or this is this final boss, and they try and get, and you can ride the coattails of these people. But even with Russ Cook, Hardest Geezer, obviously what he did was incredible thing, and he's done loads of great stuff, and I'm hoping for him, because of what he does and how he does it and the feats he achieves, as well as the charity work that he does, long may his success continue. But you do see that the taper off of that notoriety kind of finishes, whereas then you look at people like sports stars, rock stars, like musicians, where there's a continuing thing. But even with them, they go up and down. You know,
like one hit wonders with singles that come out, and it's like, again, she goes crazy and then tails off if they don't come up with anything else.
100%.
Probably why so many of them go off the rails. I mean, fucking Justin Bieber.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a tough upbringing though. Imagine that under the stars, the way he had it. But again, it's what you sign up for. But I suppose you could argue that as a kid, all he loved music and just wanted to make music and have people hear his music. Probably the reality of what actually ended up happening, he couldn't have dreamed of. But you've got to then just look at it both ways and say, yes, there's pros and cons to the fame, and you've got to just, you've put yourself out there. You've just got to learn how to manage it, to be honest with you. But I think hopefully with my opinions with Jack Kay, just ride the wave, enjoy it, make as much money as you can. I remember those 4 lads in jeans. They took a photograph of in Birmingham. Connor was he was going to do a tattoo of mine actually a long while ago. And again, I saw him starting going viral, so I knew of him, and I was like, how's he doing everywhere? And it was literally because of a photograph. They're wearing jeans, skinny jeans. They were very skinny. But I just, again, in social media, they just choose to pick something and it just goes viral. But I think the thing these days with Jack Kay, and I think why these people are sort of starting to go viral, why he's going so viral, is because he was a head turner. Like, he was different. Very different in that sense. Not in a bad way though. Different. Yeah, it was very different, but this individuality is just all but gone. People are not being themselves anymore, or they're scared to be different. And back in our parents' day, think how diversified it was amongst different, and even at school, like my mum, I remember having this conversation with mum, and she was saying about how there was different groups at school. Like, you'd have the punks, and you'd have the mods, and then you'd have the rockers, and then you'd have the pop stars, the indie people. Like, you'd have so many different groups and people that you'd have like little cliques at school. Whereas now everyone's the same, like got the same haircut, same clothes, same shoes, doing the same activities, and everyone has now just been pigeonholed. So, you know, think of like the rock stars that came out. We've just lost Ozzy Osbourne, absolute Birmingham great, one of our own. And obviously, how different could you possibly be other than, you know, putting someone like Ozzy Osbourne into the mainstream? But he was different. You've got the Sex Pistols, Elton John, Freddie Mercury, Amy Winehouse, all these people. And I know they're all sort of musicians, but then you get artists as well that can do that and do different type. Banksy's a big one who does disruptive style stuff. And unfortunately, like, I feel like, I don't know whether we're ever going to be able to go back to, because of social media, this individuality, because people are too scared to end up being Ibiza final bossed by someone online, because you've got no secrecy anymore. You've got no privacy. Before, you could enjoy your own little group, go out, do what you want without being filmed by some absolute, like, I can't, yeah, well, just like, who's doing that? Like, I get it, but I mean, I suppose, I don't know, you see something nowadays, and I suppose the automatic thought is to just stick it online and stick it on social media. I suppose even the person that posted it didn't think it was going to go as viral as it has. So I guess that's the difference or with social media about now is people are probably a bit scared or more scared of being different because you get papped on a night out by some wannabe paparazzi and you end up going viral for having a shit haircut.
Well, I think you were a little fish in a little pond, and now you're like a little fish in an ocean. And it's like everyone doesn't want to be the odd one out. And then when the odd one out does come, like this guy, they sort of pop off because it's like, Jesus Christ, they're swimming over there. What are they doing? We're all swimming over here. So again, it kicks off, and there's been a few occasions, like you say, where there's been the IP, the final boss, and other people that have crept up because they're just very different, and we'll end up now seeing it will be a Halloween outfit that I'm going as the IP, the final boss. That will be a thing.
You've said it now. If you do not turn up to Halloween in a vest,
I've already got the
shorts,
outfit.
And that, I mean, your hair's not far off, to be honest with you.
Nah, I need to just straighten it and cut it in a
yeah, exactly.
shape.
That's what I'm saying. But the colours there, you just need that bit of shape up at the sides, high fade.
Yeah, a bit of Bondi Sands,
zero blend. Just give me the friar tuck. You'll look good.
Put some white teeth.
Shape up that beard a little bit, pencil it in, mate. You're
I'm
there.
Going for it.
I think you're there.
I'm going to do a podcast episode like it.
There you go. I think that would have been good. We should have done that, but we didn't have enough time. So maybe next time we'll do a little wardrobe change. I think the other thing as well with having someone like Jack Kay, I think as a society, we like controversy and we do like propping up. We like fun as a society. There's so much shit going on with war and people complaining about government and all this, cost of living is obviously through the roof. So to get a lad who's just enjoying himself in O Beach in Ibiza and give him all that sort of fame and spotlight, it is nice. But on the flip side, something that I was thinking about is, and I know I mentioned earlier in the video, you've got Russ Cook, but he's one of very few people. How many people are doing good work, good deeds, good things every single day that it's a shame that we kind of make the wrong people famous, don't we?
Oh, yeah, very true. I mean, I've even started watching some YouTube channel. It doesn't even do very well. It's called Good News. And every week they put out a load of good news stuff. And it's like, you don't get that anymore. It's all just negative because they're the things that get the headlines. And it's, like you say, the Russ Cook guy running for charities and running for this. And he didn't even start it off, I don't think. He just did it for himself initially and just started recording it, wasn't he? He didn't think it was really going to go anywhere.
No, he was doing it for charity, I think.
We're doing it for charity, but he wasn't doing it thinking, oh, I'm going to get really big and get a load of following. He was more just doing it for a good cause. And the other thing ended up happening.
I don't know. He obviously had a YouTube channel before because he was running he did loads of different challenges. He'd ran a marathon pulling a car behind his back. He ran a marathon, like a boozy marathon, where he drank a bottle of beer at every mile marker. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot. I know when I first thought, I said, that's not that tough. But I think you run a marathon, or he does anyway, around 3.5 hours. But then 26 mile, that's 26 bottles of beer. So you have 26 bottles of beer in 3.5 hours is a lot of beer when you think about it. That's a ton of booze. And then he's drinking and running a marathon at the same time. He's done some crazy stuff. He climbed a flight of stairs something like 80,000 times, which was the equivalent in height of Mount Everest. So he climbed Mount Everest as an equivalent on a flight of stairs.
He sounds like a Mr. Beast style person. Then I didn't even know half of that.
Yeah, he's done some crazy stuff, which again, I'm glad that he's got the notoriety because people doing amazing feats like that deserve it. But then also it's a shame that we're not getting, we always seem to, like you said, Andy Byron and cheating scandals and murders and bad stuff. That's the things that we can take the piss out of. Like, we're not making doctors and nurses and people that are doing good deeds famous, really, are we? So,
no. Well, we can see it from things like Love Island again, because again, all these people, we like the drama and watching the drama. So like those sorts of shows have been put on Big Brother when it was like actually a thing. Like, you know, the Kardashians. It's like we all just love the drama because it's like, oh, bloody hell, look at that, look at them, look at this. And it just makes people feel better about themselves, probably.
You've just said it now. He's definitely going to be on a reality show, isn't he?
Oh my God, yeah,
that'd be good.
X on the
which
beach.
one's coming
X
up?
on the beach.
I don't think that's still running, but I'd love to see him in like I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here or something. That'd be hilarious.
They'd have to let him in with his glasses and chain.
Big Brother's not really watched as much anymore, but just get him on any reality. I mean, to be fair, Geordie Shore, I don't think that's still running, but he's from that way up north.
Shit, yeah.
But I think to wrap it up, but final one, thinking about the notoriety that he's been having, isn't it incredible how quickly brands and people attach themselves to this rising star? You know, you see this build up of momentum, and then people just immediately just try and snatch it straight away, like boohoo, straight on it. I saw one where Henry Hoover tried to jump on it and make a final boss version of it. I think it was obviously a joke for socials, but you do see straight away. But that's what good businesses do. They see where the attention is and they attach their brand to it and try and get those sales. And that's what good marketing and good businesses do. But you can see how everything nowadays is just commercialized. And it is a bit of a shame because you can't do anything these days if you've got some notoriety, because we're in this attention economy because of social media. If you have that attention, people are jumping at your feet to try and get you to sign deals, to get you to do this, do that. And you hear all these horror stories after the fact, Britney Spears, and she was the big one that sort of stands out. I've heard Prince was a big one back in the day, where they sign these record deals and sign these brand deals and they get absolutely shafted. And because you're not aware of it, or you don't really know and you're not managed properly, and hopefully with Jack, he gets the right management, which I said earlier with Neon. But brands and businesses are
vultures.
They're evil at times, and you can see how they almost act as like a leech, and this shining star kind of starts to burn up and shine bright, and then they're just like, right, I want all of you, I want all of that, I want all of that shine, I want to take as much as I can, feed it into my business, and then once you've finished and nobody wants you anymore, they'll just discard you and toss you aside and go on to the next thing and be like, yeah, you're irrelevant now, what's the next one?
Look at Elvis, and Whitney Houston was a horrendous one. I don't know if you've seen the film, but it was all her dad. And her dad was running all the companies, funneling off all the money, just like money. He took everything from her pretty much that she was earning through years and years and years. And then when he was finally like in hospital, and obviously some of it's probably Hollywoodified, but you know, she went in and was like, where's the money? He was like, well, there is no money left. And she's like, what are you on about? I've been working for years, like singing all these songs. He's like, well, it's my money, what you on about? And it's like her own dad. You're like, Jesus Christ, yeah, it was a horrendous film, that was. But yeah, they do. It's swarm round like locusts.
Money is a real divider of people, both families, relationships, friendships. It's the biggest cause for divorce. People steal, lie, cheat. You know, I've been stealing off you for years.
You actually have. I mean, bloody New Era hats at the time, bloody Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, borrowing a few hats is not akin to some of the stuff that's going on. But I think, it's a shame. Money is a divider, and I've never. Do you know what? For me, I'm obviously massively motivated by money, and I like making it. I enjoy spending it. Clearly,
you definitely don't need help with that one.
No, but at the same time, I like to be fair, and I like to create a fair economy, and I like to obviously with this Jack. I hope, as I said at the start, that he gets as much as he can out of it whilst he can.
100%.
Wicked. Jack K, Ibiza final boss. You were thrust into the limelight, and I hope that you squeeze every last drop that you can out of this, mate, because you deserve it. You've taken it on the chin like an absolute champion. You're flying around Ibiza on private jets, and I'm sure you'll end up enjoying every moment of what's to come. Thank you for being different. And again, if you are watching, we'd love to have you on the podcast. We'll see you soon.